right, people, so now I would want to cut my pattern. So I'm just cutting from here. Okay, I'm cutting from here, which is the waistline. So I cut this part off, and then I go into here to the bust accommodation, and then I take it. Okay, so I'm cutting through the neckline. This is the neckline. Okay, and it goes right into here and returns back where we have the corset boning. Okay, so I'm just cutting it exactly the way the corset will appear after you have finished sewing it. So this is how it's going to look like. Alright, so this is what it's going to look like, as you can see. So I'll just close up my bust dart. I want to cut off what I have on the bust to the bust point. I'm cutting off the dart so I'll be able to close up my dart. So I take this away. We don't need it at that point. Okay, so I take it away. So now I'm going to close my bust dart. Can you see that? So I apply my adhesive and I close up my bust dart. You can see bust dart is closed. I'll come over here and I'm going to also close up my bust dart. Alright, so I'm done closing up my bust dart, and this is what we have. So next is to cut off the cup. Okay, so the cups are actually different. So when you are sewing this, you need to note which part is for the fabric mesh and which one is for the the fabric yoke and the fabric mesh and the mesh yoke. So you can see they are not the same. If you look at these two yokes, they are not the same. So for you to have that effect, you need to sew this to this cup and sew this to this cup. So I'll be marking this cup A1, A1, A2, A2. Okay, so when I see A1, A1, I will know. Then I'll call this Y1, that is yoke 1, and Y2. Okay, so I'll be able to identify them accordingly. So I'll set this aside, and I want to cut off the cup by taking off what I have on my upper bust area. I also take off what I have here on the upper bust area. So separating A1 and A2, since I've labeled them, I'll just cut like this. And this, you can see I have just a little shift. Okay, when you close up your bust dart, there will be a little shift. All you need to do is to reblend before you cut off your cup. So I've just reblended, and I'm cutting off my cup accordingly. Okay, so that is what you're expected to have. So this part of the cup with the yoke is ready. Okay, this part of the cup with the yoke, once the cup is sewn. So another thing is, you can see there's a shortage at the front, so that shortage has to be replaced. So I'll quickly replace the shortage. For that is important. Make sure you replace the shortage. So you can see what I'm doing here to replace this. This is the bust point line, and this is another bust point line. So if I say let me match them together, you can see what I'll be having. So let me place it like this so I'll be able to replace them accordingly. So you can see the excess, the shortage right here. Okay, on this line you can see this line is matching up, but here is not matching up. So what you will do is to place your pepper. You can place the pepper for a full to be full at that point, and you place your pattern ruler to replace it from this point. You can see that into that point. So this is supposed to be the shortage. This part I shaded is supposed to be the shortage. Okay, so you can also do that for the other cup as well. So I'll just cut what I have here and cut what I have here. And here I'm sure I have a full cup. So the cup I have here for my corset will go for this. After I have sewn this together, next I will sew this yoke to it. So now I'm cutting what I have on A1. So I'll cut what I have on A1, and here I'm supposed to reblend. So there will always be a shortage at that point, but you always reblend. So I've done that. So I'm going to cut off my cup, as you can see. All right, so for this part you also merge together. You can see there's a shortage, but I will not be doing that because this is a tutorial. I want to show you how to go about. So you can do the same thing I did on the other cup. So this is the part. Once it's sewn, the yoke here is attached. So now we want to talk about what we have here before we attach our corset. So this is what you are going to have after you have taken off your darts. So we want to create the basque. Okay, I just thought of showing you how to create the basque in case you want to go by exactly what we have on the thumbnail. So I come in with these pieces. The basque is going to be from the tip of this pepper at 5 inches. So at that 5 inches, I'm going to rule a line, and it is at that line I'm going to gum all of these peppers right now. So I'll just apply my adhesive at the back of all of them because I'm putting all of them together to create my basque. So this is it, and this is it. This is it. Okay, so you make sure you put them together because what you have here is your waist line, is your complete waistline. So you can see me putting them together. So my waist right here is a full waist of 18 inches. Okay, so once you put them together, the next thing you are going to do, remember that I have a waist of 18 inches. That is 36 divided by 36 divided by 2 is 18. So here you can see what I have here. I have 16 3/4. So at 18 inches, I need 1.5. So I will just add up a little for the darts. Remember we connected our dart from the contour line, so I will replace the darts at 0.75. So I'm just trying to get my 0.75, so my waist will be equal. All right, so simply what you do is to connect your waist, or you can also, instead of connecting like this, you can add up 2 inches on the size of this. Okay, so let's just forget about this. Just add up 2 inches. When you are sewing, you will take your actual waist on the fabric. So I go in that way at the center line for the basque, and I'll be connecting the basque from here to here, and I'll come back from here to here. So you can see the basque right away. So I'm going to cut what I have here. that is it. And then I'll just trim off what I have here. Okay, so I'll just trim off. All right, people, so that is it, and you can see we are done. So if you want to create your boning line which you want to separate, now you can do that right on this paper. So I can take my first boning line to the bust point, that is the bust span, and I'll take the next to this. And I need another boning line, I will take it like this, and I need another, I'll bring it at the center like this. That is if this is the type of boning line you want. So I will call this F1, F2, F3. Remember, this boning line continues to this. There's one boning line already. So here I call it F3. Here I call it F4, F5, F6. So if you wish, you can lay your edge-limb boning on top of these lines directly the way it is. If you wish, you can cut off the boning lines and join them back and sew your edge-limb boning the way you wish. So this is all about what you actually want. So this one, you just lay your boning on it, and this I'll just cut like this. All right, so this is what we have on our corset basque, the lower part of it, which you have seen us constructed, and this is what we have on the fabric yoke part. Okay, so make sure you don't mix up your pattern. So this is A2. I'm going to look for another A2. This will be for this, and this is A1, and I'm looking for another for the mesh. Okay, so this is how it is being arranged, and that is what you are going to add your seam allowances and sew. So thank you very much for coming to this tutorial. If you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, and drop your comments on the comment section and your suggestions as well. So thank you for coming, and see you in the